Hello, and welcome back to another stream of the ultimate hardcore shiny Manectric hunt. My name is Ectric, and we're here in the, I don't know, way too many stream of trying to get this frickin' shiny Manectric. I hope you are doing well today. I am having a pretty good one myself, just being able to relax. I can't think, however, because the music's a little too loud in my ears, so we'll do that. There we go. But yeah. I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I decided I want to continue to try and, chip away at this. Maybe eventually get to the point where I can actually do another hardcore nuzlocke. Because that'd be kind of cool to throw it on here. I haven't done a nuzlocke since this sleep lock, so that's kind of cool. But, I have to get that shiny first. I can't start a new game without getting through this one first. So we're going to be doing that. Trying to get a shiny Manectric full odds in Route 118. In Pokemon Emerald. If you are excited for this stream and you have not yet liked this stream and subscribed to the channel, consider doing so you can catch every single one of these streams as they come out. You can also get your name to show up in the most recent subscriber thing down there. Yeah, down there. That'd be kind of cool. You have to have it public to have that happen, but thank you so much for being here, though. I really, really appreciate it. We had a ton of people come in before the stream even started. Crunchy, Serena, Cedar Caldwell, Doodle, Dark Dragon. Thank you so much for joining in and having the most insane conversation I've ever seen in a pre-stream chat. Appreciate all of you. Also, Carlos, thank you so much for joining before the stream even started. Really, really appreciate that. Lovely having you all in. I hope that all of you are doing wonderfully. And Ace on Top Gaming and Solo, thank you so much for joining before the stream, or as the stream started. You could have just used the Discord link in the description. That is true. You could have just used the link in the description for Discord. Stop deleting Serena's messages just before I get to read them, at least. Okay. Do we refer to him as Cedar now? I'm assuming this is Lucian. I've not seen Cedar Caldwell's the YouTube name Cedar Caldwell before, so I wasn't going to assume just yet. Ectric wants lore. Cedar Caldwell is a Mascot vampire that doesn't realize he's a vampire. Oh, that's fun. I really like that idea. Actually, I mean, obviously the Mascot is cool, but like just in general, an idea of like a vampire who doesn't realize they're a vampire, and they just are like, yeah, I have really bad allergic reactions whenever I eat things with garlic in it. It's really bad. Or they're just like, yeah, I don't know, I burn really easily, so I just go, I try to not go outside too much, and if I do, I throw sunscreen on. It's weird, because it doesn't really matter if it's, like, cloudy or anything, I just burn really, really easily. And they just, like, write it off as, like, normal crap, and they're just, like, they have no idea, and they're just like, I don't know what it is, but I really like my meat raw these days. Like, really, really rare, really, really rare, like, I don't know, something about it. It's just really, really good. I really like that idea. I also, there was, I don't know if any of you watch D&D stuff, specifically Dimension 20. Brennan Lee Mulligan's one of the main DMs there, and he had talked about this idea of a vampire who is still very religious, and I really like that idea as well. Where he's like he's afraid of crucifixes, because that's some part of the lore is like the crucifix is bad for vampires, I guess, but he also is like Catholic. So he's just gotta fight against like this inner like fear. I feel like there's some fun ideas that can be done with that. I also really like the idea of a vampire who's like evil, and then they get brainwashed into believing that they're a vegan. This poor guy literally needs blood to survive, and it's just like, but using animal products is wrong. I sent for Cedar. He called me a wench. I don't know what that means. A wench. I don't know. I feel like a wench could be like a positive connotation. Like the changeling who doesn't realize he's a changeling. Like Odo from Star Trek Deep Space Nine for a bit. Gonna be kind of vampire that doesn't burn in the sunlight, but rather becomes weak in sunlight. Ah, okay. She said, did you read the Among Us story? How long is it? Maybe I'll just do it now. Or actually, here's what I'll do. I'll pull it open on my computer. Where the heck is it? There it is. Yeah, so we'll pull it open so that I have it in a tab, and I'll read it right after stream. I'm sorry about that. There we go. I'm annoyed at Kingdom Hearts right now. What did it do to you? Whatever it did, I'm sorry, and I hate it for you. Wench means prostitute? I don't think wench means prostitute, does it? I always imagined it more like a bartender, like a female bartender in like the 1800s. Maybe at like a brothel. So like at a brothel, so it does have that connotation, but like a server there as opposed to a server. If you get what I'm catching. What did I just say? If you get what I'm catching, if you catch the meaning, which is also really not the saying, if we're being honest, but it's at least closer. Kingdom Hearts 3 ended on a cliffhanger. I'll be lucky if Kingdom Hearts 4 drops this decade. Oh, yeah. That story is never going to end. They're just going to keep making it more and more convoluted until no one understands it. Now you have to read it out loud. PokeFan, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. It's been a little bit. How are you doing? ElectriCrew are bewildering me right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Nobody understands it now. I mean, there is assumedly at least one person who understands it. The person who made it, I would hope, at least mostly understands it. It does mean prostitute, though. I've always had more of a there's always been like a sexual connotation to it, but like I've never had like out and out prostitute connotation. Sorry about that, life. No worries, PokeFan. Appreciate you being here now. We're only in the first there's sagas? Oh god. This is making me want to play it less and less, to be honest. Like, the gameplay looks awesome. I've only played like a very little amount of it, so I can't really speak on it that much, but the gameplay looks really, really fun and stuff like that, but I feel like the story would just absolutely destroy me mentally, and I would not understand a thing that was going on. Can't wait for tomorrow. Oh, tacos. Right. Yeah, Taco Wednesday is always fun. I made meatloaf this week. Meatloaf, and then meatloaf for lunches, and then I'm making steaks for dinner. Steaks with some rice. I didn't do the steak very well tonight, unfortunately. I think I cooked it like on a little bit too low a heat, I think, and cooked it a little too long to compensate. So it ended up just being like more like medium well than medium rare. And it like by the time it had like browned on the outside, it was also brown on the inside. And I wanted to get it a bit more seared, where it's a little bit more red on the inside. But I usually do pretty good jobs with it, so next time I'll have to do better. All the games are part of what's called the Dark Seeker Saga, and we have zero clue if there's going to be more sagas. Oh, okay. So maybe they just, it's kind of like how, you know, it's like called the Hunger Games trilogy, but like theoretically, if they like didn't like the idea of calling it the Hunger Games trilogy, they could call it like, you know, the Revolution Saga or something like that. And it, you know, Hunger Games, Mockingjay, and Catching Fire are the three books in that saga, but they don't have another saga. Can't really remember when I was here last, but did you get see the Spy X Family movie? Oh, you did. You got to see it. Awesome. I was gonna say I have not seen it because I have only seen like a few episodes of the show. I want a beef Wellington. Ooh. I don't know that I've ever had a beef Wellington. They look delicious. I just don't think I've ever had one. I don't think Nomura, the creator, even knows the story now. You know what? That makes sense. That actually probably explains it better on why it's so convoluted. Is that even the creator has no idea what's going on anymore. Guess we stopped having Taco Tuesday after Lord Business used the Craggle. Little Lego movie reference. Of course, it was like a movie reference. I'm surprised I got that. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I was already knowing to get it. I was honestly surprised with myself for getting it. But hey, we're here. We're thriving. Want to start the game? Kingdom Hearts 1 was the best starting point because it actually makes a bit of sense before they said F understanding this. Yeah, I'm definitely planning on starting with Kingdom Hearts 1. I have it on PlayStation too, so I could play it on the original hardware and everything. Have I been incrementing this like correctly at all? I feel like I haven't. One of my favorite movies, even 7 years later. I'm old. Yeah, no, I get that. It does kind of hurt me that that happened 7 years ago, but also at the same time, it came out in 2017. It feels like it was like more of like a 2014 movie. I don't know why. Kingdom Hearts 1 isn't even the first game lore-wise. Yeah, no, I know there are like some prequels where they go like way back in time, but I feel like it makes more sense to like start with like chronologically released first one, just because it's, you know, it's not like I feel like there are time travel shenanigans that are involved in some of the prequels, which makes it so that you need to have the context of like the story of the person coming from the future, which means I need to know the future first. It actually came out in 2014. Oh, so that means it's 10 years old. Did stream break? I hope not. What version of Kingdom Hearts 1? Because original Kingdom Hearts 1 was worse than Final Mix. I think it's probably the original one if it's on PlayStation 2. But I can get back to you on that. Stream was screwed for me. Let other people let me know if we're having any issues. It's showing excellent connection on my end. Time travel doesn't start until Kingdom Hearts 3, if I recall correctly, which is the final game lore-wise so far. Gotcha. Stream's fine for me? Good. I feel even older. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, listen. I am no stranger to that dread, because I graduated high school in 2014, which means it's been a decade since I graduated high school, which is nuts. And like I'm sitting there like sometimes I'm thinking about I'll just like hear someone be like, oh yeah, people who are 18 were born in 2006, and I'm like, I was a fully aware person at that point. Like I was in middle school by that point, or actually was I might have been in 5th grade. But yeah, I have very vivid memories of what I was like in 2006, and people can go to war who were not born at that point. It hurts me in here. I don't like it. Time needs to stop moving forward so I can just play all of the video games before moving forward. Both are on PS2. To be honest, you'd probably be better off buying the 1.5, 2.5 remix collection, because for the price of one game, you get 4 games and 2 movies. I think I already have 1 and 2 on PS2. So if I already have them, I'm probably not gonna buy another copy unless like it's like really like one of the discs is scratched or something like that. But I have to do inventory whenever I'm getting close to wanting to start Kingdom Hearts. I've got so many open series though that streaming series that I'm like not making progress on that I need to like close up before I can start a new long-term story-based one. Oh boy. It's warm in here. It's kind of bad because like I know that it's only going to get worse in the summer, and I've never lived at the house during the summer, so I'm like worried that it's going to get extremely hot all the time in here, and I'm going to just be sweating my absolute tuchus off, and I need to like figure out a better air conditioning system, because our air conditioning system in this house is 2 wall units on either side of the house, which I'm sure worked well enough for the 80-something-year-old dude who's like doing absolutely nothing all day, retired, but like it's gonna be bad, especially now that we got the dog. We gotta make sure that you know, the house is cool enough that she can hang out. And so I wanna like, obviously the ideal would be to like get mini splits, which are basically like electric powered, like really strong multi-room devices where they're able to air condition multiple rooms at once, and they don't require vents because we don't have vents in this house, because that is very expensive to implement. But those, even though mini splits are cheaper, they're still not cheap, so we need to figure out whether that's in the budget, and if not, I need to just, you know, essentially attach a fan, or I need to, you know, get a really big like car battery and attach it to my back, and then plug in the fan to that, and then just have it right in front of my face constantly. That's what I need. I need to acquire a charger. Well, I wish you luck in your endeavor. Currently just been thinking about jobs and what exactly I want to do. Not fun? Yeah, it's rough. The thing I would say, and, you know, unsolicited advice, take it with a grain of salt, but obviously you want to try and work towards having your job, your career be something that you're passionate about, and, you know, possibly something that you're like, is like your main passion in life. That is like the dream. It's not necessarily going to be something that you can obtain. Sometimes your main passion in life is something that our capitalist system does not deem as important enough to give a, you know, living wage to. Sometimes, you know, even if it is, it's very unlikely, unless you are the top percentage of the top percentage, that you are able to make money off of it. But what I would say is try to find something that you are, like, try to find the thing that you are able to do that will inspire enough passion to make it so that you're not just going day to day. Obviously it's not necessarily possible for all people. Some people just have, like, you know, jobs that they don't like, and that sucks. I want to get to a point where people can do what they want to do, and not have to worry about, you know, surviving. But until that day where we fix the system, try to find the, you know, the thing that makes you, that you know you can make money off of to survive and make a living, that inspires the most passion in you, because that will make it the easiest to get through the work week and get through all of the time that you're going to be spending on work. And hopefully you will be able to, even if your like main passion is not your job, you'll be able to have enough time to pursue those passions outside of work. Plus, games actually look good in the collection because they all got upscaled at BHC. Fair. Developers, what route you want Wiggle to be on? Developers, yes. Welcome back, Sol. Want to either work with animals or make my own book franchise. Ooh, those are fun. I have like ideas for novels, but I don't have the skills to back it up. Cedar actually hurt me by calling me a prostitute. How dare. You should have just gone with my definition of wench, Cedar. It's the other collection that's absolutely peak naming. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD Final Chapter Prologue. 2. Electric Boogaloo. Welcome, Luigi Dragon. How you doing? I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. Just talking about careers and how I need to figure out the AC in my house because it's going to get warm in the summer. John, welcome to the stream. Perfect time for me to stop by talking about writing a book. PokeFan was saying that they were thinking about possibly wanting to write a book franchise as like a career one day, and I was saying that I have ideas. I have an idea for a 9-book saga, but I have none of the skills to execute on those ideas. So it will probably just stay an idea. Maybe one day, if I'm ever like full-time YouTube and you know, I'm bored of doing the same game and stuff, I'll set aside some time to write a novel and be one of those YouTubers who writes a novel. But until that day, it's going to just stay a random idea that I have vague things written down about. I swear to God, Square Enix doesn't know how to name games sometimes. Listen, sometimes you just gotta name things wacky crap. Started book 7 of Harry Potter, and these are really well put together. Should have thought about a lot of stuff ahead of time. Yes, I completely agree. The 7th book, when you get to like the last 150 pages, you kind of just have to like set aside a time to just go through all of it in one go, because it's just, you know, wall to wall, like you know, you're sprinting to the finish, and all of these things are like interweaving, and things from book 2 are suddenly important. Things from book 5 that were like offhand mentions are finally pulled in. It is pretty impressive, like how she's able to like take some of those things, which, I mean, you'll never know whether these were truly planned or if it was just really good. Hey, this could be something. I could retroactively use this offhand thing that I mentioned a couple books ago and say that it was always this, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't mess with it does not mess with the internal logic of the previous books to make it also this. And it actually enhances it in this ways. So I think she you know, she obviously had some things planned from very, very early on, and I think she was also really good at like doing the second thing that I mentioned of, like, you know, taking things that might have been just been an offhand idea and going, what if this was this instead, like, you know, what if that the book from the diary from book 2 was actually a Horcrux, and it wasn't just like, you know, Voldemort's magic diary that he wanted to give to someone to, you know, let his snake get some exercise. But yeah, I love when books are able to do that. I love reading like series. I'm a big fan of like multi-book series, especially like, you know, fantasy stuff like that, or science fiction. It's just really fun. I'm a huge fan of the Hunger Games series. I just started a newer series for me. The first book is called I think The Rage of Dragons or something like. It's either The Rise of Dragons or The Rage of Dragons, and highly recommend. I finished the first book. It's really good. It's got a really cool magic system, and it's got like political intrigue. It's got like a love story. It's got a bunch of different stuff, and a really fun like protagonist who is like on a revenge quest. So it's really, really good. Would recommend. My definition of wench has always been hauling or lifting device consisting of a rope or Isn't that a winch? That's how I am. I have a lot of vague ideas all strung together, and I got to sit down and figure out what happens between point A and point B. Yeah, see, like, I have, like, the ideas of what happens between point A and point B, but when I try to put it down, it just becomes a laundry list of tasks that have happened rather than, like, a narrative. Like, it's this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and I just don't know how to make it sound good when talking in between those parts. I do Audible and really want to listen to on my work commute, but I may suddenly do the dishes and laundry one weekday and get through faster. Yeah, I'm pretty much Audible only at this point. I'm the same way in that I can't sit down and read a book at this point. I have other things, like, especially with the channel not being taking up most of my free time. I don't have much time to, like, just sit down and read a book, and whenever I do, I end up falling asleep. So Audible is awesome because, like you said, on the commute to work, or when I'm cleaning the bathroom and it's 2 in the morning and I really don't want to be cleaning the bathroom, I'll just, like, pop in a book and listen to it. And that's how I got the Rage of Dragons. I found it as a recommendation from a YouTube short. I wrote down a list of the ones that sounded interesting based on the synopsis that they gave in the short, and then one day I was going for a run, and I was like, I need something to listen to so that I forget how much I hate running, and I picked up that book, and it was really good. It was really good, and it's the first in a series, so I'm gonna start the second book soon. That's a winch. Yeah. It's only one letter off. Seems a mistake. Yeah, for sure. I think, to be honest, if you hadn't said anything, I would have thought you were just doing a fun little play on words. If you like sci-fi and fantasy, you'll like my book. If I ever get around to writing it, I do love me some sci-fi and fantasy. I would highly recommend, if you have not already, Project Hail Mary. Amazing sci-fi novel by the guy who wrote The Martian, which, if you haven't read that one, also really good. It's a movie with Matt Damon in it, or they made it into a movie with Matt Damon in it. And it's the guy who wrote it is Andy Weir, I think his name is. He does really grounded sci-fi, where theoretically, like, if we had the technology for this, it could be a real thing. It doesn't, like, involve, like, fantasy technobabble for the most part. Obviously, there, like, with any sci-fi, there's going to be technobabble in that, like, this is not a thing that actually exists, but it is, as much as you can possibly make sci-fi grounded in real life, it's grounded in real life. And he also is a really, really, like, good comedic writer. He, like, it's usually, like, his books are very, very funny as well as, like, sci-fi, so I would highly recommend reading those books. Another series I read off and on is James Bond. Oh, interesting. I've not read any of the James Bond's books. Loved Hitchhiker's Guide. Hitchhiker's Guide is one of my favorites. Oh my goodness. We had to read it going into 9th grade for me in high school, and it disappointed me to no end how few of my peers enjoyed that book. And I think the main reason they didn't was because they didn't realize it was supposed to be funny. They came into it and they're like, this makes absolutely no sense. There's nothing going on. Like, this is just nonsense and just jumping around. And they didn't realize, this is just highly, highly ridiculous, in the most funny, wonderful way. But yeah, I love Hitchhiker's Guide. I've even gotten through all 5 of them. I've gotten through all 5 of the four books in all 5 of the books in the 4-book trilogy. Welcome back, Crunchy. Gonna go down tired and tired. Lame excuse. Gonna be joined back in later. Hey, if you don't join back in, have a great night. If you do join back in, I will welcome you back when you do. Typical British humor of Hitchhikers is amazing. Like, nothing needs to make sense and it's still great. Oh yeah, for sure. It's just so good. It's just some of the like the small, like, turns of phrase where it's like, it was this way in all the ways that something else isn't. I can't remember the exact line, but it's just like those small things where it's like, just like so clever and ridiculous. It's just so good. It's so good. If you have not read Hitchhiker's Guide, it's another really good one. That one's a classic in my mind. Topic sci-fi, I may recommend All Tomorrows. Short read, but super interesting. There's a great audiobook here on YouTube. Interesting. All right, let me write that down because I'm always looking for good recommendations. All right. Log that as a custom timestamp. Ever read the Hilda series? I have not. What's it about? Love the new Bond movies. Books are good, written in the 1950s and definitely a bit dated. Yeah, it happens. Just casually ignore me? What did I miss? Since I finished Kingdom Hearts 3 and my brother gave me my Xbox back, I can finally start complete lore order Kingdom Hearts playthrough. Oh, good luck. Sorry I missed a message. You haven't tried my book recommendation from over a year ago? Oh, I don't remember what book you recommended. I probably wrote it down in some random text document, and then my computer shut off without me wanting it to, and it was lost to time. If you resuggest it here, I can write it in my timestamps to be saved forever. Del Toro Quest series. Del Toro Quest series. All right. I'll see if I have more Audible credits to possibly get some. Sci-fi and speculative zoology. Ooh. What humans could look like in millions of years. Ooh, that's interesting. That is something that, like, I feel like sci-fi, it's very difficult to have happen where you, like, trying to, like, I don't know how to put this. I feel like it's very difficult for humans to get out of the anthropomorphic centric mindset that we have, in that, you know, any intelligent alien species needs to look like us, essentially. They need to be like they need to be recognizably something like us. I mean, you get the very, like, the very, you know, lazy, for lack of a better term, where it's essentially just human. They look exactly like humans, but they're not human. Of, like, you know, a Star Wars or something like that. Or like some of the planets in Star Trek where it's just like, oh, they're human, but they have little spots on their necks, or they're human, but they have, like, long pointy ears, and they are kind of gray skinned. But, like, even when you get to, like, some of the more, like, some of the more, like, different ones, it's usually some sort of bipedal animal that uses speech, some sort of speech to communicate, or, you know, some sort of sound to communicate, and has eyes and, you know, appendages with things to manipulate surroundings, whereas life can be literally anything. Like, you know, why don't we have sentient crab species, or sentient octopus species, or you know, sentient rock species, or stuff like that. Like it could be, you know, it doesn't even have to be a carbon-based life form necessarily. But it's very, very difficult for humans to imagine something like that without it being similar to something we already have a reference of, like a crab species, or a squid species, or something like that. Young girl Hilda lives in the woods with her mom and their pet deer, Fox Twig. After getting their house destroyed by a giant, they move to the city, but eventually realize the magical world they live in isn't what it seems. Ooh, interesting. How many are just now learning there's a Del Toro Quest anime? There's an anime? That's fun. Oh man, imagine if there was just, like, you just, like, one of your favorite book series, you just found out that there was an anime. Like, imagine if we just, like, found out that Japan made a Harry Potter anime, like, 10 years ago. Once saw a depiction of praying mantis like aliens. That was cool. Yeah, I think the less like humans aliens are, the more fun they are in general. Like I want freaking, you know, random blobs like in what's it called? The Orville. If you haven't seen it, recommend. Really good show. Made by the guy who made Family Guy. It's basically Star Trek but comedy. Apparently there's a dub for it. I'm sure someone has dubbed it, whether it's official or not. That's all another thing. But yeah, in the Orville there's a character who's like one of the main engineers who it's literally just like a blob of goo, and it has a mouth. Voiced by Norm Macdonald, the voice of the genie in Fairly Odd Parents. Seth MacFarlane, yes, he's the one that made the Orville. He also plays the main, like the captain of the ship. It's really, really good. I hope they come out with a 4th season of it. It's just so incredibly funny, and honestly, coming from someone who is a huge Star Trek fan, I kind of think it's better. I kind of think it's even better. It captures the like joy of essentially a utopia that Star Trek captures so well, without, but it has the joy of like the 90s era Star Treks, where it's like focused mostly on like character interactions and lets it go at a little bit like more episodic pace, but it also allows you to have allows you to have some of the, like, you know, 2024 era. Duck's going, love it. It has the 2024 era like sensibilities in terms of there's a lot less inherent sexism. There's a lot less, you know, unintentional racism, that kind of thing. Rip Norm? Yeah. Norm Macdonald was hilarious. It's not on Crunchyroll. Oh. Use a VPN, see if it's in a different country. Incoming lengthy story over for messages. Ooh boy, love to see it. Wasn't so scared to share my book idea. You would love some of the alien life I designed. That's awesome. I would love to see it one day in a bookstore near you. I always thought about writing a Peter Pan story. Chapter 1 starts with Pan and Hook fighting, but ends with Hook stabbing Peter, and he loses consciousness. Ooh, so dark and gritty. Wakes up in a hospital in the normal world and ends up finding out he's been in a coma most of his life, and the stories of Lost Boys were his mom at the hospital every day telling him stories. Oh, that's really kind of cool. The book is about his struggle to cope with the real world versus what he thought was real. Ends with him getting sick again and passing away, but as he drifts off, his mother comforts him, telling him it was real. As he passes, he hears rushing wind, feels like he's flying in the clouds, looks up to see Never Never Land in the distance, and oh geez, heartbreaking, but like I feel like that could be a really, really good story of like, you know, dealing with loss and sickness and trauma, and you know, where is it useful to have those comfortable lies versus the harsh truths. Like, I'm generally of the mind where, you know, harsh truths are for the most part better, but obviously there are cases where a comfortable lie is better than, you know, going with the harsh truth, no matter how, you know, against my ethics it goes to, you know, endorse lying. Like, if someone's about to die, and like if someone with like Alzheimer's is about to die, and they think that you are their long lost son who passed away years ago, and you know they want to hear one more time that their son loves them, and you tell them, and you don't tell them that you're not their son, and you just say that you love them, that is objectively the better thing to do, even though it's a lie. But you know, it's interesting to know where that line is. And like, you know, where do you draw the line of, okay, it's better to lie to this person than give them the truth, because the truth is going to hurt more than the lie. It's not that I don't trust y'all, but I don't want nothing getting stolen because of reason. Oh no, yeah. I mean, if you're actually thinking about writing this into a book, then don't you know, don't give away your plot too early. Incredible story idea. Yeah, I agree. It's the middle part that I struggle with, but I have my opening and ending. I've had this in my head for over a decade. Yeah, honestly, like, trust me, I know that feeling, because I have, like, my opening and my ending as well of, like, my 9-book series. It's just, you know, filling in the book part that causes the issues. But I do think you have a really good, like, idea there. I would love to read that one day if it ever turns into a full story. I do think you have something great there. Also, thank you so much for 10 likes, everyone. I really appreciate the support. Always great having you hang out. You ever see the official Pokemon episode of Ash meeting a child, and then he comes across the nice couple who invites him for lunch, and he tries to introduce his friend, but think he's crazy? I've not seen any... I haven't seen any Pokemon anime outside of, like, the first season or two, like, here and there. I've not watched much anime, or Pokemon anime, specifically. Making the filler not feel like filler. Exactly, yeah, like, obviously, like, the journey is the whole point in a novel, so, like, it's not like it's necessarily even filler, but, like, yeah, trying to fill in the book to, like, build to that ending. Turns out the child is actually their freaking dead son. Oh, jeez. Taken away by a Drifloon. Gonna bet, though, have you heard you talking about writing books, and it made me think of my little story. Have a good night and keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for sharing your awesome story idea, and hope to see you again soon. Doing quick math stuff. That big Kingdom Hearts collection I recommended you buy is less than $50. Oh, dang. Welcome back, Doodle. Had to handle an internet prick for my personality. I'm not confrontational. I'm very non-confrontational as well. It sucks because, like, sometimes confrontation is necessary, and like I'm one of those people where in the shower the next day I'm thinking of all of the comebacks I could have given, whereas I'm in real life I am always extremely diplomatic. Doesn't matter how angry I am, or, you know, how much I disagree with someone, I will always say things to be reconciliatory, just to get out of the confrontation, with as little fuss as possible. I don't compromise on my morals or anything like that. Like, if someone, like, is advocating for something I truly disagree with, I won't agree with them to, like, get them to stop talking, but I will, like, you know, I won't, like, be like, you're absolutely wrong and here are all the reasons why necessarily. I will, you know, give some of my major disagreements and be like, but, you know, it's you know, possible I'm wrong or something like that, even though I don't believe I'm wrong. And I don't know if that's a flaw or not, but that's how I am. I have all these cool ideas for my books, but I need to make the filler just as good as the fights and the characters themselves. Yeah, that's the really big part, is, like, you know, building the characters and the character interactions, and you know, that is where the real book comes into play. And it's tough to do. That's where true writers shine. Like, anyone can come, but like a decent number of people can come up with a good idea for a story, but making it so that it's compelling to get from beginning to end and feel like you understood the entirety of it, that's where the real writers shine. Don't recommend people spend money for games they already have, but in this case, the HD remaster is very much worth it. I will have to see, because I'm also planning on buying the new remaster of the first 2 Star Wars Battlefronts, because Chev wants to play on stream together, so we're going to probably do a collab of that sometime soon. I need to get that. One thing I definitely can't talk about writing is I eventually want to do my own fanfic continuation of Infinity Train. The show is flipping robbed of its ending, so close to getting the movie, which was going to be rated R. Oh, I remember that this, like, the news stuff about that getting canceled. I never watched it. Speaking of stories among us, I told you I have it open in a tab for after stream. It's like confrontation, but I'm a firm believer of justice. I'm in the same way. YouTube's being hot garbage. I'm sorry to hear that, Seer. Or Lucian. I don't know why I'm still calling you by the alternate name, but... Baxter, welcome to the stream. You have to read it out loud? Is it long? I feel like people wouldn't necessarily be... Like, if it's long. You know what? You read all the messages out loud? That's true. That is true. I do read most messages out loud, but like, there's a difference between reading a message out loud and reading a full short story out loud. So good, really mature depiction of life and how things happen sometimes, and how we can choose to handle it for better or for worse. Awesome. I'll have to check it out if it's available anywhere. Battlefront Collection is pretty cheap too. It's only like 30-ish bucks. Yeah. It's not too bad, but I also, we also just adopted a dog for hundreds and hundreds of dollars and had to also buy supplies to keep said dog healthy. So, trying not to have too many, personal expenses when the house expenses are adding up. If you don't read it out loud, Crunchy will never hear it. Would you really do that to him? Crunchy's not here right now. How about this, Doodle? If Crunchy comes back, I will read it out loud while I shiny hunt. Nah. I know a place. Could DM it later if you want. Fair enough. I'm assuming it's some sort of high seas endeavor, in which case I could probably just find a site myself. Is the dog home yet? Yes, we got the dog on Saturday. She is here. I showed a picture in last stream, but I can pull one up again, possibly. Oh yeah, I could just throw it in front of the game. Let's see. Throw this up here. Oh, I need a different tab. Never mind. Make this. Let's see. Photos. Alright, and now we'll minimize that for a second. Then we'll minimize this. And there's Lola. She's a sweetheart. She's a cutie. That's our new dog. We got her on Saturday, and she is already a cuddle bug and a love bug. She's a Rottweiler mix, and she's originally from Texas, but they shipped her on up to our place, and yeah, it's great. She's a good girl. She is very cute. She's very, very cute. Yeah, she's just the sweetest. Pull this back up, and let's see. I could possibly find another photo of her. Share. There's some really good pictures of her. Oh my goodness, this one's very, very cute. Let me wait for it to load fully. I'll share one more. You of all people should not be making an Among Us shorts. Post an Among Us twerk gif on your account again. I'll have to send pictures of my friends Lola in the Discord server. Yeah. Whenever I kidnap her. Yep, for sure. Huh? Okay, that one's good enough. All right. Yeah, this is a very cute one I took of her this morning. She was asleep, actually right back here. I had thrown a blanket down while I was working, and she just fell asleep with her tongue sticking out. Okay, so apparently blep is the official term for this. I called it a mlem, and I was told that that's when they spit something out. Apparently this is common terminology, because you are the third person to call it a blep. I was not aware of this terminology, but I am impressed. All right, but yeah, little Lola. Now let's. All right, we got this. There we go. I'm blowing her a little kiss. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She is currently hopefully asleep in the master bedroom with my wife. But she's also like, the second you walk past her, she's immediately up and like you know, trying to jump up and give you kisses and stuff. So I know the second I go in there to go to bed, she's gonna immediately be wide awake. A mlem is a straight up lick. A blep, the tongue stays out. Okay, good to know. Good to know for the future. If y'all could choose a pet, which one would it be? I mean, Lola. Literally chose her. We adopted her. She actually was adopted twice. The first one ended up just throwing her out into the street, and when they found them again, refused her, which I don't know how you could possibly do that. A bork. Oh, I like this trombone solo. A wolf dog. Oh, that'd be fun. I like big dogs. A dragon, obviously. I mean, yeah. Like in How to Train Your Dragon, like where you have like a little one, or like one to ride, or like one of the huge ones that sits on like a horde. Poor girl. I heard a story like that when I worked at the shelter. It's so sad. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know how you could look at a sweet little girl like her and just say, you know what, I'm just going to abandon her on the road, and hopefully she'll make it. If not, oh well, not my business. That's just absolutely, you know, evil. I am like generally pretty pacifist in all ways, shapes, and forms. The one thing that will like for example, I'm against the death penalty in all cases. It doesn't matter how heinous of a thing you do. I don't believe anyone has the right to take another human's life. And like, even it, you know, but the second I hear about someone abusing an animal, I'm like, okay, but maybe some like evil things are evil enough that maybe you don't deserve to live anymore. Oh yeah, I did not read the whole thing. Pokefan, that's my bad. Regular pet, a Pokemon encrypted, or Baymax. I think Baymax is the obvious choice here, but some jackass adopted my first foster and then turned around and dumped him in shelter. Yeah. Do you ever get tired of Pokemon but still play it anyway? No, because I have enough variety going on that I kind of intersperse it with non-Pokemon stuff. Welcome to the stream, Eric Joe. I played Party Animals on Sunday, and I played Baldur's Gate on the previous Wednesday, and then before that it was Legends Arceus, so like a different Pokemon game. It's been a couple weeks since I've done this one, and then I had like done Legends Arceus, so I went back to this one. Probably going to be doing a collab with Anxious Christian this weekend of Pokemon, but it'll be a different Pokemon game. So like, I do enough like rotation of streaming games and stuff like that. I never really get like burnt out on a specific game, but you know, if I ever do get burnt out on a game, I just stop playing it for a while. That happened with Pokemon Scarlet Violet. I kind of just ran out of interest in playing that one, so I haven't played it in like 5 months. I might go back to it at some point and, you know, get re obsessed with it and all that. But for now, just kind of, you know, I didn't feel like playing it anymore, so I didn't. Don't understand why anyone would just abandon an animal. Well, someone dumped you and your cat, and they had it owned for 14 years. Jesus. Yeah, that's where people, you know, I am an atheist, but you know, if you almost wish that the hell existed just for those types of people. Like, it's just like, you know, straight to hell, do not pass go. You deserve something to happen to you to make you realize that you did such an awful thing to an innocent being. I'm passionate about a few topics. I hate when people adopt, say, a bunny and then go, "Oh no, you have to take care of it and dump it." Yeah, I think that's a big problem too. Is like, people, you know, like the idea of having a pet, of like, you know, being able to interact with a fun animal, but then they don't think about, you know, the fact that it's there all the time. Like, even I, who have lived with animals like growing up pretty much my entire life, even I had like a moment where I'm like, oh, this is just like my new normal now. Like, this is like a huge undertaking, and like I understood that. I'm willing to accept that. I think that the joy that a pet can bring highly outweighs, you know, the changes that I will have to make. But like, even then, it's like something that you sometimes don't fully comprehend until it's, you know, 4 or 5 days in, and you're like, oh no, they're still here. I want to do something else, but they're still here. I still have to think about them and take care of them. It's not just a toy that you can play with when you want to have that interaction, and then just have it sit on a shelf until you want to play with it again. It is a living being that you need to take care of, and will have needs outside of, you know, playing with you or being cute or doing, you know, whatever is the reason that you wanted a pet. People adopt a puppy because it's cute and they go, oh no, I have to take care of it. Yeah, awful. Seen this video, guy who had a pet African bullfrog. He was feeding it mice, and weirdly I was fine, but then he threw 2 ducklings in there, and I was like, I was bad. Yeah, that's like an interesting thing also, because like I am a huge animal lover, but I do still eat meat. I do still, you know, I'll see like, you know, roadkill, and it doesn't necessarily like you know, cause me to like tear up or anything like that. It's just like I do have like a disconnect where where like some animals mean more, and I can't justify that logically. I don't think it's a logically consistent opinion to have. I don't believe that certain animals are inherently better than others, but I do find that I am partial to certain animals compared to others, and am more okay with, you know, eating some than others. to put it bluntly. Circle of life, we all gotta eat. Yeah, I mean that's true to a certain extent. Obviously, like, people do go without and are able to live happy, healthy lives. My wife is a vegetarian. My mother and my brother are both vegan. So I have a lot of, you know, personal experience with people who decide that they're not going to eat meat for a variety of reasons. But, you know, I do agree that, like, for the most part, I don't know that I am very, very good at cooking things that I find appetizing, that do not include meat and are, like, nutritious. So I tend to make meat dishes because I really find them appetizing and at least somewhat nutritious. I'm obviously not the pinnacle of health here, but But yeah, I think one of the big things for me is I am very, very much looking forward to the day when we have lab-grown meat, because it will be, physically identical to, from an animal meat. It will not change the taste or the nutritional benefits, but it ethically and morally, it will mean that I am no longer indirectly causing an animal to suffer for my diet. And I think that like the second that is a viable option in a grocery store, I will not buy, from an animal meat again, because it is just like I acknowledge that vegans and vegetarians are morally superior to me in that they are causing less animal suffering indirectly. But the second I am able to do that while also still having the dietary benefits of meat, I will do that in a heartbeat. Love watching live feedings and stuff like that. One time I watched a blue jay rip a head off a baby rabbit. Oh, Jesus. I could not do that. I could not watch that. Arby's, we have the meat. I just realized what you just said. Yes, I have the meat. One of my favorite Infinity Train topics about this was about how the train's denizens, which are computer-coded animals and sometimes other objects, come to life, have feelings and are actually alive upon creation, that they're not toys and abuse is wrong. Yeah, and that's another thing that's like really fascinating about like sci-fi fantasy stuff. It's like where do you draw the line of sentience, and like, well, what do we consider a being that should be given like certain rights based on the fact that they are a thinking being? My mom's a vegetarian. It's brutal for everyone around her. I mean, I don't necessarily think that that's true. I mean, obviously, if they're the only person not eating a dish or something like that, sure, it's inconvenient to have one person have to have something completely separate and have to cook a completely separate thing. But like, I don't think that is an unnecessary accommodation. And the more people who are vegetarian in a group, the easier it is. Like, my family has it'll be like at best a 50-50 split of like meat dishes and vegetarian dishes, and usually it'll be more vegetarian dishes and then a few meat dishes, and then the people who are meat eaters just take some of the meat dishes, and then everyone eats on the vegetarian dishes. So it doesn't have to be a pain in the butt. You just gotta work around it. It's kind of weird since technically they're made via code, but with the way programming works, they basically aren't actually AI or robots, but real creatures. No, I mean, I think even if they were AI or robots, at a certain point, we are going to be so good at creating computer programs that imitate life that they will essentially be life in and of themselves, and will therefore deserve, the full rights that humans deserve. I am perfectly convinced that one day there will be AIs that essentially need to fight for their civil rights, and I will be on this side of them because I believe all sentient beings deserve inalienable rights. I'm fascinated by the concept of sentient robotic creatures / AI. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's like, if you've never watched Star Trek, the Next Generation has a character called Data. Sheldon, some of Sheldon's mannerisms from The Big Bang Theory are based off of Data. He's an android, and there are some really, really, really good episodes where they go through like the moral quandaries of, okay, what do we do about this creature who is, by all accounts and all experiences, a thinking being, but is not like a full it's a synthetic life form. How do we treat this legally? Like, do we treat this being as human and deserving of the rights of humans? Do we treat it as a machine that is just really good at doing what it's doing? It's really, really fascinating. And I think they do a really good job of towing the line of, we don't necessarily know, but like, this is what we think. Heard someone found their missing puppy on that one live eagle camp. Oh, jeez. Seen a video of a bird box, and while the parents were out getting food, it was attacked by a woodpecker, and the chicks were taken. Time they got back, the mom was devastated. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's very, very sad. I don't like watching the you know, circle of life animal documentaries where they just like focus on, you know, one animal hunting another or something like that. It's like, obviously, like the hunter needs to eat, and that is literally the circle of life. But at the same time, I'm like sitting there like I don't want the prey to lose. Data's the funny man of the stars. Data's awesome. Data is awesome. He also appeals a lot to people with autism by complete accident. Yeah, that's another thing, is that the main thing that distinguishes him on a day-to-day is that he doesn't understand social cues. He can speak perfectly articulately, on the other hand, which I cannot do, but yeah, he doesn't understand social cues and like human mannerisms and stuff like that, and he takes a lot of times takes very literal interpretations of things, and it is impressive how much it matches up with like a lot of people's experience with autism. So yeah, it's another thing. Here's a good topic. Pokedex Gens 1 through 6 are just a machine. We want Gen 7's beyond the Pokedex is now a Pokemon, so now how do we deal with that ethics-wise? Pokedex Gens 1 through 6 are just a machine. Gen 7 and beyond, Pokedex is now a Pokemon. So how do we deal with that ethics-wise? I'm not sure I understand what the question is, Pokefan. Are you saying that like Gen 7 on the Pokedex is like complex enough that could be considered a Pokemon rather than just oh, sorry, I think I understand now, because it has the Rotom in it, so now it is a living Pokemon. That makes sense. Okay, I understand now. I understand. Yeah, that is interesting. I feel like the thing with it is that it is a machine with a Pokemon inside of it. Skullpro, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. I've been good. Hope you have been doing well as well. Love those. Dead Before Dawn is a really good one. Dead Before Dawn. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Woodpeckers can be nasty little guys. Yeah. They put their tongue around their brain. They're hardcore. He's socially awkward like us. Someone who has autism, I can say it's true. Why you think I always apologize for not being here? No, yeah, it's I want to continue to iterate that it is not necessary to apologize, because it is a privilege that I have you here hanging out with me, you know, supporting the channel in the way you do. But you know, I completely understand that for a lot of people it is a, you know, they feel the need to apologize because, you know, for whatever reason, if you feel the need to apologize, you are more than welcome to apologize. I just want you to know that it is not necessary. I'm not upset that you're apologizing. I'm just saying it is not necessary. I appreciate you being here now. Relate to Data World more than I thought. Yeah, Data's awesome. Data's one of my favorite characters in if not my favorite character in Next Generation. King Capybara, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. Hope all is well with you. Autism is a wonderful thing. I have no like personal experience with it, at least I don't think. But well, actually, I do have a personal experience with it, in that my uncle takes care of a severely autistic man who needs a full-time live-in caretaker. My uncle, but I do not have like personal experience in that I have significant interactions with autistic people or am autistic myself. Originally, when I was thinking of doing my big lore order playthrough, I thought I'd have played 9 games. It's actually 11 because I have to play Birth by Sleep 3 times. Oh, jeez. Are there 3 different endings? Kyle Wolf and I are only friends because we autism tuition. Shiny's right over there. I see it. Where? I always feel terrible when things come up or I'm an inconvenience / burden to people. And sometimes I don't pick up on social cues or certain jokes, but take almost everything literally. I hate it. Yeah, listen. I completely get that because, like, especially like if it's difficult for you to know whether like this is a reasonable thing to do, or if like you're making a faux pas without realizing it. I can understand that, like, you know, paranoia and you know, angst of not wanting to, you know, to hurt people's feelings, to make people feel bad, but not being able to identify whether or not you are actually actively doing that or not. And I understand completely the instinct to err on the side of caution and go, I'm just going to apologize, even if it's not something I need to apologize for, because better to apologize when I don't need to, rather than not apologize and I committed a social faux pas and now someone is upset with me. I completely get that. You know, I'm not saying I'm the arbiter of social cues and I'm completely perfect, so I am not, you know, immune to this feeling as well. I do think that I have probably a better, you know, instinctual gauge for that, but I do understand that feeling. 90% of the people in my life are autistic to the point where I just assume one is autistic until they come out to be as neurotypical. I'm just imagining someone sitting you down and going, I don't know how to say this, but I'm NT. You just go, oh, thank you for feeling comfortable enough to share this with me. It's just, I support you. This doesn't change how I feel about you. 3 main characters with 3 different stories. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's exhausting. Going by the dev's recommended order, I have to play my least favorite character first. Oof. That sucks. Hey, at least you get to build towards it, though. You get to... It's like... I don't know. What order do you eat your food in? Like, if you have, like, your main, like, protein, your main carbohydrate, and your, like, veggies... Do you go, like, your least favorite to your most favorite? Do you go to most favorite to least favorite? Do you, like, mix between the 3? Do you, like, mush them all together and just eat them all in, like, one big glob? Which, like, I don't know about you, but, like, psycho alert here. If you do that last one. Not really. Obviously, whatever you prefer to do, no judgment, but I think that I kind of, like, tend to focus on, like, my second favorite first. Like, I try to save, like, the last bite to be of my favorite thing. But I'm not... I don't know. It depends on the dish. I don't know why I started talking about that. Oh, right. 3 main characters. So it could be considered like, hey, you're you know, building up to your favorite thing. You get to finish on your favorite thing. I completely lost the plot there. I'm sorry. I completely forgot why I was talking about that. Should get Serena to watch Star Trek, mainly the 8 episodes. I would highly recommend Serena. Especially because the second episode that they ever did was a very sexually charged one. So I think you'll at the very least enjoy the cheesy, very, very hokey, you know, everyone is horny and turned on by each other plot. I've literally looked at people and gone, what do you mean you're not autistic? Are you basically over odds for the shiny? Mumblewolf, welcome to the stream. I don't think I am. It's 1 in 8,192 odds. I don't know what's considered over odds. Is it when you go over the 8192? Because if that's the case, no, I'm not even close. If it's like halfway to the odds, like if it's you know, 8192 divided by 2, then that'd be 4096, in which case, yes, I'm over odds. I hate my food touching each other. It depends on the types of foods for me. Like, I am similar for certain foods. Like, if it's like, you know, different sauces and stuff like that, I will have them not touch. But like certain things, it's like, okay, if it's like chicken parm and like pasta, those can mix just fine. In fact, having one on top of the other is arguably better. Or like, you know, if I'm having like steak, rice, and asparagus, I'd be perfectly fine if like the steak was touching the rice or the rice was touching the asparagus or something like that, because I might be having, you know, a bite with rice and steak, or, you know, asparagus and rice or something like that. I only eat my favorite because I'm very picky. Oh, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Starts with the French fries, then go for the chicken fingers, and keep switching until it's all gone. Okay, so you go back and forth. I feel like I definitely do the same thing. Like, I'll usually do like half of one, then half of the other, then half of the first one, then half of the other one, type of thing. I OCD level have to eat the best thing last. There you go. There you go. Top of that, I try and always trying to be judgy just because I'm a good guy and Christian instincts. Dude like that with anxiety, and you end up alone either than you are on a cold winter's night. Oh, I think no, combine that with anxiety. Yeah. So I mean, I completely understand that instinct of like, you want to be a good person, you want to, you know, make people feel good, be ethical and kind and nice, but also like, if you have like a fear that you're constantly not doing that, then it's very difficult to go through interactions. Also picky eater, I both love and hate it. I don't think I'm that picky eater. Like, I have like certain subsects where I'm pretty picky, but like of like the types of foods that I like, I am not picky whatsoever. Need to eat my school lunch in a certain order. Makes sense. When you go over the however many odds, I really don't know. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. So I would say no, I'm not over odds, because I'm only like a little over halfway to 80-92 or 81-92, but no sure. Not sure. Open the milk, then I open the juice, then I ate my least preferred fruit, and then the preferred fruit, then the fries, main course, ice cream. Hey, if you got a system going, that's all that matters. Unless I have something like cranberry sauce, in which case the cranberry sauce can be eaten last. Interesting. Okay. Little bite of muffin, I eat the muffin whole. Second muffin, I bite in half. Third, I bite the bottom off. Fourth, I bite the top off and scoop the insides out. Interesting. Have you ever peeled the skin off of grapes? I've done that. It's honestly kind of satisfying when you get it good. I only do that when I'm like bored, because like the inside of the grape is like very sweet, but the outside is like the skin is like tart. So if you peel off the skin, you get the tart, all of the tartness, and then you get all of the sweetness afterwards. So it's interesting. I don't know why I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm admitting this. This seems like a weird thing, but hey. OCD sucks. People think it's just something as dumb as repetitive hand washing. No, gosh, it's way worse. No, yeah, no, like legitimate OCD is like, OCD has been turned into what a lot of different like mental health disorders are in like popular, you know, pop culture vernacular, in that it's basically been dumbed down to the like a more mild version of some of the symptoms, in that, oh, I like things neat and tidy, or oh, I have this weird specific thing where I need to do this in this specific order, or something like that, versus the reality of like true OCD, where it's like No, I have a legitimate, like, compulsion where I have to do this thing, no matter how detrimental it is to me. It has to be done this way. And it can be legitimately debilitating. And it sucks that people, like, turn those things into, like, you know, less serious things where they talk about it a bit more cavalier than it necessarily should be, because, like, these are significant things that people are actually legitimately dealing with. And if you know, say, oh, I'm depressed to mean I'm sad, it kind of makes it harder to talk about legitimate depression where you cannot get out of bed because your brain literally will not let you. Welcome back, Solo. Sandwiches I eat halfway, break the bottom half in half, peel and eat across them, eat each new half individually. Interesting. So now for a second, and now we're peeling grapes. Listen, sometimes you just gotta peel grapes. Sometimes it's just good to have the tartness and then the sweetness separate. It's like eating the as much of the Oreo cookie part without any of the stuffing, and then eating as much of the stuffing with as little of the cookie part as possible. Sometimes you want to have the less sweet cookie part first, so you get that out of the way, and then you have the ultra sweetness of the cream inside. It's not as bad as half the My Hero Academia quirks. Some of those you can't live life with. Oh yeah, for sure. There's some, like, really horrendous ones in there. You should know that I playfully mock my aquatics teacher. Eats her sandwiches. I hate when people just say they have OCD. Like, shut the hell up. Yeah, exactly. It's turned into some, like, you know, cutesy, like, point of interest. Like, oh, I'm like, I have these tendencies to, like, be like a little extra. It's used as almost like a descriptor of, like, certain quirks of your personality rather than, like, a legitimate mental health diagnosis. I'm already regretting BBS just because I have to play as Terra. Is Terra terrible? My McDonald's chicken nuggets need to have one circular nugget, no more, no less, and I've legit had meltdowns over this. Interesting. Yeah, that's the thing where, like you have no control over that in the end. It's so it's, you know, the fact that you legitimately need that to happen. It's like, you know, it can be a problem. First I was like, what is BBS? Then I realized it's Bird Pies. Yeah, Solo's been going through all of Kingdom Hearts. I have to play on words, but you're kind of right. I'll take it. I have a very specific system for how you play a game, and then one day I go, what am I doing? I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily OCD. That's sometimes just like, oh, I've been doing this wrong this entire time. Why am I like this? One thing I love about, but hate about autism is special interest. Basically, a hyperfixation that's like comfort to us. For me, some of mine are Pokemon, Infinity Train, Spikes Family, Owl House, etc. I mean, I definitely understand hyperfixations and stuff like that. I definitely see some ADHD tendencies in myself. So I definitely know the feeling of, you know, hyperfixating on certain things. I hyperfixated for a while on Big Stream, and unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to hyperfixate on it before it became like a stressful thing in my mind rather than a fun, like, project. And now I just kind of put it on a back burner to get done when I get done. But yeah, like, I'm definitely familiar with, like, hyperfixating on certain things, but I don't know that I'm, like, I definitely am not to the point where it's like, you know, I just have, like, the same hyperfixations over and over again, and, like, it becomes a huge comfort for me or anything like that. And there's times I realize some people just eat their school lunch normally. Hey, what's normal? Normal's just boring sometimes. Like using magic. I'm stuck with a strength-based character. Ah, I see. The Barbarian's Dilemma. Would you take a shiny Electric? Yes. My argument for games with like 8192 odds is I will take either an Electric or a Manectric. As long as I am hunting in a place that can have a Manectric. If I get an Electric, I'll just evolve it. But for any games where the odds are a little bit better, where I can, like, you know, Masuda for something, or, you know, well, actually, if I'm Masudaing, it's obviously going to be an Electric because I'm hatching eggs. But, like, if there's some exploit where I can increase the odds to better than, like, 4096 or something like that, I will, you know, force it to be Manectric. I love hyperfixations. They're so fun. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be a ton of fun to just, like, get really deep into a project. I do love, like, when I get into that flow state. I find myself doing this a lot with coding, where I'll just, like, if I find a fun coding project, I legitimately can just, like, sit down and for, like, 4 or 5 hours straight and just go through and code and code and code and not, like, come up for air. I legitimately can just do that. The couple of really fun projects I've done at work where I've, like, had a ton of coding to do, I legitimately have like started, like, gotten back from lunch, started doing work, and then looked up after a while and just seen that it was like 6 o'clock at night and I was supposed to go home like half an hour ago, and I'll just be like, oh geez, I should go. But it's just a little bit more. Let me just do one more run. But yeah, I do love that feeling of being in flow state, and getting just, like, being so productive. I wish it was more controllable on my end. I wish I could motivate myself to be like that for more things than very specific coding projects. Worst part is you can't control them, and every single autistic person has them. They can last for life or leave you one day permanently. That's what happened with me in My Hero Academia. Got overwhelmed and bored. Fair. I mean, I still love My Hero, but I definitely, like, going into the last season, there was a time where, like, first of all, there was a time when I first binged through it. It was my favorite anime. And then I took a break from it. I watched, I ended up going through Black Clover and getting really attached to some of the characters there, so I kind of let My Hero fall to, like, second. And then when I, like, went to go watch the next season as it was, like, coming out, I watched, like, one episode, and it was, like, a really stressful point in the story, and I just was like, ugh. I miss the, and this is true of the most recent season regardless, I miss the, like, lightheartedness of them being in classes together and, like, having, you know, random worries about tournaments or, like, passing classes and stuff like that. I miss the lightheartedness of those earlier seasons. I wish there was more, like, time spent in that section before it got, like, serious. But I had that moment where it was just like, okay, I can't handle the stress of this right now. And I didn't watch it for a while. Eventually it was like, all right, let me just shoulder through the next few episodes, and then I got hooked again, and I was right back. But I definitely understand that whole, you know, you get overwhelmed with it, and you just don't want to continue. Like Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, exactly. My system always wins. Once hyperfixated on a game so hard for 2 weeks, made a D&D campaign based on it, made an AU and some art, and suddenly I was done with it. Like, come on, Bree. Yeah, that is the other worst thing is, like, you'll get so into a project, and then, like, it'll just leave you one day, and then it's just like, okay, I guess all of that work just, you know, is just for nothing now. There are some, you know, some significant, like, graveyards of previous hyperfixations of mine. A lot of them having to do with, like, random video game stuff. Like, I have, like, multiple, like, actually not even all video game stuff. I have multiple, like, Excel spreadsheets of, like, very intricate, like, logging of like information of different like hyperfixations I've had throughout the years. And for some reason, Excel is like one of the main ways I go about having hyperfixations. Is my first thought is, okay, I have something that I'm very interested in. Let me make like a to-do list up for it. Let me put together like data on it, and I immediately run to Excel. I had a hyperfixation where I bought a barcode scanner for an internship and got very obsessed with having barcodes for everything, and decided I was going to have all of my DVDs of movies and TV shows play through a program that I was going to write, where I scanned a barcode and it just like automatically pulled up that movie or TV show, and you would just play it automatically. And I printed out multiple like hundreds of pages of just barcodes that did scan correctly, put them in a huge binder, and created the entire program to actually like show those things, and then didn't get the files for the different movies and stuff, because that takes an extremely long time to obtain without like buying digital copies. And even if you buy digital copies, you don't actually own the like MP4s or anything like that. And I got kind of just stalled there. But I still have the Excel sheet with all of the, you know, the barcode numbers corresponding to which, you know, show, which episode, which, you know, which movie that barcode related to, and like the different categories of different like types of shows, whether it's a TV show or a movie, all that kind of stuff. Very a lot of effort put into that, and it sits gathering dust in my hard drive. Special interests better in that they're more permanent. True. Pokemon's my special interest for sure. Pokemon is awesome. It's a good one to have. Current main special interest is video game soundtracks. Ooh, which ones are some of your favorites? My Google Drive is basically just an archive of all type of fixation. Yeah, that's how I feel. I have that one. I had the beginnings of making a Pokemon ROM hack, and then I realized, wait, making Pokemon ROM hacks is difficult, and I don't have time, so I stopped. But I still have all of the programs downloaded on my laptop for, you know, drawing different maps and stuff like that, and it's just, yeah. I get on certain things, and then I just, you know, fall off eventually. Try not to watch many things or just cover anything else for a while, because last thing I need is another show franchise like. That's kind of how I feel too. I try not to watch too much TV, because I know I'll just get really into it, and then something else will fall by the wayside because of it. Pokemon 2 main original stories are always fighting for the #1 special interest. Cool. Learned how to pick locks from special interest. Ooh, I know the theory behind picking locks. I don't think I've ever tried to actually physically pick a lock. You have a spare lock picking set in your wallet. Ooh, I should learn and just get one of those, because like I've locked myself out of things multiple times before, so it would be useful, I feel like. Snapple Cat fact? Oh, that's right. Also, I'm not out of Snapple. I have a whole other Snapple here that I haven't not even broken into yet, but we'll go with the old one first. Corn always has an even number of rows on each ear. Cool. I did not know that. Dazzling, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. Current favorite is Precipice by Aaron Cheroff. What game is that from? Sister got me hooked on The Rookie. Is that a game? Or the movie? Mainly collect my favorite ones. I the Pokemon anime characters. I have almost every Ash, Team Rocket, Mama's plush. Fun! Minecraft 1.21. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that song. Alrighty. I don't know why I'm so yawny. I mean, I guess it is 12:30. Why is your Manectric name minus? I think I was. The thought was, electric charge. So like E minus is an electron, or minus for short, and also it was a short name so that I could, you know, speed run through the hardcore part. Gotta go. All right, Pokefan. Have a good night. Thanks so much for hanging out and chatting. What do you say we go to 5,000 encounters and then call it? See if we can't get another 64 in half an hour. I'm gonna focus up on actually like making sure I'm being efficient with my encounters so that I can get to 5,000 in the allotted time. I'm not saying I'm not going to pay attention to chat, but I would probably be monologuing a little bit less. I'm gonna hop off too. I'd like to go to bed at a decent time tonight. Understandable. I tell myself that every night, and then I don't, because I want to stream more. Just did a recent submitted of an interesting game on your list. You may want to check it out for yourself. Cool. Yeah, I can check it out. I need to update my spreadsheet with the newer suggested games. It's been a little bit since I've last gone through all the suggestions. This music would be perfect for party animals. Honestly, yeah, kinda. Like I always use the game audio for party animals, but I probably should just turn off the music in that game and turn on like something like this so that I can get monetized. Because I never am able to get monetized for those streams because the in-game music is copyrighted. They just used like copyrighted music for their game music, which, you know, more power to them, but it also makes it so that I can't make money off of these streams. You know, I'm missing my 4 cents, man. In ad revenue. Remember the Among Us? Yes, I need to read your short story. I remember. I love jazz music. Honestly, I would love to suggest my community jazz band play like the what's it called? Cowboy Bebop theme song. I feel like it'd be such a fun one. 205th Fridge, welcome to the stream. How do I get into an a-hole's head? I don't know. Depends on the a-hole, I guess. They're thin-skinned, just, you know, insult them a little bit, but like, it depends on what kind of a-hole they are. But welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. By the way, Ectric, did you add the redeem option I asked for you? No. I have not had time to do anything channel related aside from stream for the past few days with the new dog. I will try to get to that, not before tomorrow's stream, but Maybe I'll do that Thursday night after I get back from band. When will you do a face reveal? Oh. I think sometime in like January of 2022. If I had to guess. 49.49. Let's go. 49.49. You remember. Oh boy. It is interesting with the face reveal. Because I didn't do face cam for years. Should totally do a face reveal at 100K. You're right. It'd be really funny if this was all like just a guy that I hired, and he was just like really good at lip syncing, and I just, just reveal at 100K that I'm a completely different guy. But the exact same voice. That'd be pretty funny. Not possible because this is my real face. But it is interesting though, because like I for years did not do a face cam, mostly because I was using a laptop for a lot of that time, and it only had 2 USB ports, so that was microphone and capture card. I had no extra space to use a dedicated like camera, and I wasn't about to use the webcam, built-in webcam for my laptop because it's terrible. But yeah, it's interesting because like I never did that, and like I didn't see much traction. It was also partially that I was not streaming very often. But once I started streaming regularly and did the face reveal, the channel started really like blowing up to the point where I got to a place where I could have a video go viral, get a couple thousand extra subscribers, and it's just, yeah. I feel like I don't think that face cam is necessary by any means. I think that you can be perfectly successful without, but for me, it definitely like seemed to help. Thoughts on getting a synchro hide and seek stream sometime this week in Scarlet Violet. Not gonna happen this week. The only other streams I have scheduled for this week is Baldur's Gate, and then possibly one like maybe Thursday night after band, but I already said I was gonna use something else then. But yeah, definitely not this week. Maybe sometime in the future though. I'd be down. It's a hologram? Yes, I am a hologram. AI generated face. Just curious? No worries. Yeah, no, I'm not saying no forever. I just the schedule is full for this week, unfortunately. And I don't want to get your hopes up. Forgot to bring the tacos to Tuesday's meeting. We can't focus on taking over the stream. Oh man, now I want a taco. I do have meatloaf. I could put a meatloaf taco would actually be interesting. I feel like that could be tasty. All right. I definitely made meatloaf wraps, but I never tacos. I've never had meatloaf with like salsa and sour cream and stuff. I feel it would definitely be tasty, but like it's just not the vibe. That's all boy cat chat. We want rights. What rights have I not given you? Should probably get sleep and because of work tomorrow. All right, Solo. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining in. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful night and good luck with work tomorrow. Gonna head off for the night. Tired and gotta wake up early tomorrow. Hope you all have fun rest of the stream. No worries, Luigi Dragon. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate all of you being here. I think we'll actually only go 15 more. If everyone's going to sleep anyway, might as well end it off a little bit earlier. We can hit 5K in the next stream. It'll be a nice, exciting early one. So we'll go 15 more encounters and then go pass on the love. You haven't given us the right to escape the basement. Ah, I see you are a person of great taste in that you are a fan of the Dug Dug. Honestly, I gotta say, probably one of my biggest inspirations for like streaming entertainment. Just I think does such a good job with making content out of things that you wouldn't necessarily think are interesting, and just through, you know, sheer force of like personality and creativity makes it so that it is like really interesting content. Wish I could get one of the mugs. Is that is that a Dug Dug mug merch? That's fun. Put us in chat court. I actually did have the idea to do like chat debate stuff. The only worry I have is like I am very inspired by like Dug Dug's ideas, but he also has like thousands of people in his chat regularly, whereas as successful as we've been here, it is still usually averaging like, you know, 5 to 10 at most. So I would have to scale it down a little bit. All right, 8 more. Oh. You only need 2 people for conversation. True, but like if it's like if the idea is to like have some people in chat, like for example, like argue for and against a topic or something like that, and then have the rest of chat vote, you need like 2 people plus enough people to make the vote like matter. So you're already pushing it there. If you have like 5 people in chat, that's like 2 people arguing about something and needing to find 2 people on the opposite sides of an argument, and then 3 people voting on whether they're right or who is right. It gets to the point where it's, you know, just not enough people to be able to do some of the ideas, but that just means we got to grow the channel more so we have more people to do those types of fun things. That is honestly like that is my main reason for wanting to increase like the viewership, is just to be able to do more like chat interactive crazy stuff, because I do find that very entertaining. I love me some chat interaction. Yes, it will make it much easier to have arson. That is exactly what I was thinking. Oh my goodness. So funny. Alright, 3 more encounters. 3 more encounters, and then we are off to see the raid target. Alright, 2 more. What do we call it? Imagine we got it at the very end here. That'd be so awesome. It's not gonna happen, but that'd be so awesome. Also, like, what if I, like, fail the encounter? That would hurt. That would hurt real bad. Alright, 1 more. Come on. There you go. And no such luck. Oh well. We came close. Oops. Alright. So with that, we are going to end off the stream here at 4975 encounters. We're going to go pass on a love to someone else. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had a wonderful time. If you did and you have not yet liked this stream and subscribed to the channel, consider doing so you can catch every single one of these streams as they come out. Regardless, though, we are going to show some love to one of our subscriptions and throw them a raid. Let's see. So we got RuneScape, Banjo-Kazooie, Shiny Hunting Heart Gold, Dynasty Warriors 9 with Chev, Jedi Survivor with Echo Bite. Ooh. Upscon Gaming is playing Animal Crossing. You know, let's go with Stargamer X. They're celebrating 800 subs. Playing some Smash currently. What color is Shiny Electric? It's like a light blue. Similar-ish color to Manectric's color. Prefer small streams because it feels more like it get noticed. Oh yeah, no, I definitely think that there is some benefit to going with a smaller streamer. I think that it definitely, like, you do get that more personalization and stuff. Obviously, I will try my if I ever grew to that point where I was not able to, it would definitely hurt because I do love being able to read like everyone's messages, and at a certain point, it just gets to the point where you can't. But yeah, I'll do my best to be like that for as long as possible. But thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. I hope to see you over at Stargamer X's stream with the hashtag #ElectriCrew. Pass on your love to them. I hope that to see you over there. But until the next stream, have a great night. Bye.